So just like Laura Polito was able to work in a little family time along with, and we're very honored to have you here. And you have already a group of adoring fans. Yeah. You know, you always expect that the people that have those high numbers are just outgoing and she's a little, I could just tell. We are going to hang on every word. So what do you need? Do you want the mic?
I'm ready.
All right.
Go.
All right.
Awesome. Well, guys, I just feel completely honored and humbled to be standing in front of you seasoned, pampered chefers, and to be in such a position where Judy's going around the country and saying my name is just like, oh my gosh, okay. So thank y'all for hearing me out today. I'm excited to share with y'all. I'm going to share with you guys my story, and then I used to be a teacher. And so I love interaction, and I'm a big believer in internalizing what we are learning. And so the second part of, I guess, my time today will be very interactive, and you'll get to know someone else really well today. So I hope you guys look forward to that. So a little bit about my story. This is my hometown, Austin, Texas, just a little bit far away, and I love being here. I grew up here. And I was a swimmer growing up. I had no coordination whatsoever, and so swimming stuck. And I've been very competitive. And my swimming journey took me to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and I competed in the SEC division. So for some reason, I was blessed with a 200 butterfly. You know what that is?
Yes.
I don't know why God blessed me. I competed, and I've just always been very competitive. And so I ended up quitting swimming after 2 years and finished my college degree. I really thought I would be a marriage and family therapist. I have a huge passion for family and for marriage, and I've been married for 3 years. And I love my husband to pieces, and he is just the best part of my life. I absolutely love him. So I wasn't quite sure exactly what profession I wanted to do. I thought I would pursue marriage and family therapy at OBU. We now live in Oklahoma. And I just, looking at all of that debt, after I already had debt, I didn't think it'd be the smartest choice. So I did child welfare. I served exactly for 1 year, and that was all my little heart could take. It was a very difficult job. But I love people. I love kids, so I thought I would use that love in teaching. And so I taught in the South Side of Oklahoma City. I taught 5th grade, and there were lots of wonderful things, lots of absolutely horrible things. And in the midst of that, I was invited to a Pampered Chef party by one of my friends, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love Pampered Chef, and I totally forgot about it. My mom was a consultant. She was an advanced director in the company when I was a kid. I grew up going, Susie Harvey. Okay, she had curly hair. So I grew up going to cooking parties with her. She paid me a couple bucks to do the dishes, and I just thought it was the most fun thing. And she always told me I would do Pampered Chef one day. And of course, I loved it. Grew up with the products. I'm as knowledgeable as you guys are, but I just forgot about it until I went to that cooking party. Ellington Boyce was doing a party. I don't know if you guys have heard of her. She is a firecracker, and I was like, who is this lady? She said that she earned $7,000 a month, and I said, girlfriend? No. With my little teaching salary, I just thought that was absolutely impossible. And I really picked her brain when she was cleaning up and doing the dishes. I said, you earn that much money? She said, yes, I do. And I said, that's crazy. And she said, one of my consultants was actually used to be a teacher, like yourself. She was able to quit her job, and she was Pampered Chef full time. And I was like, no way, you're kidding. I thought that was impossible. So after thinking and praying about this opportunity for a week, I'm a very methodical, planning person, I decided to go ahead and give it a try. My original goal was to earn $300 a month for my husband and I. That would be awesome. I could go get a pedicure. I could buy a shirt if I wanted to. That would be great. It would add a lot of flexibility for us financially. So I sat down with him at Starbucks and I said, okay, I'm going to do, 3 parties a month, and this is how much I'm going to earn. This is what I'm going to use it for. And I had it all planned out. In my first month, I did 3 parties, and I earned $441, as you guys saw. And it was amazing. And I said that was just fun. I earned money for having fun. And so it really took off after that. And around that time, when Ellington had done my first training, she said, Bekah, I know you didn't get into this to make it a big deal, because I was very clear with her. I was already very overwhelmed with my schedule and teaching 26 kids, and I was pretty exhausted. But Pampered Chef ended up being an outlet for me. It was my passion. It was a fun hobby, and so I really loved doing it, because the school day was very, very stressful, and it was something to kind of relieve that stress. She said there's an opportunity where you can earn up to $2,000 cash, and you'll get the first $500 when you promote to a director in the first 90 days. And I was like, $500? Are you kidding me? That would have been the biggest thing for me. In particular, my husband and I had the couch that I had when I was in college. And I hated that couch. It was so uncomfortable. It made my back hurt. It was ugly. I hated that couch. And there was, like, we literally had a couch fund in our budget that was going to take about 3 or 4 years to save up for what we would pay for cash with everything. And when Ellington told me I could get $500 for promoting to whatever the heck a director was, I was like, I'm in. Sign me up. Yes, ma'am.
When did Ellington talk to you about that?
The first training. The first training.
In the first couple of days?
Yes.
48 hours?
Yes,
Just
probably
to be
the
clear.
first week. Yeah, in the first week that I signed up.
Thank you.
Yes.
So before you even did your first show?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was on my mind, and after my first month that I saw results, I was like, let's do this director thing. It was actually bizarre. One of my distant cousins in California randomly signed up as a consultant. She never did a single thing, but I was like, I texted Ellington and I said, hey, this was within my first 2 weeks. I said, hey, someone signed up under me. I don't know what that means. She said, oh, you only need 4 more to become a director. I said, okay. And then I remembered that $500 thing. And I was like, this is happening. I'm going to get that $500. I'm going to get a new couch. And so in November, I just did as much as I could fit in. I primarily did virtual parties when I was a new consultant, because I did not have the time or energy to go do a bunch of cooking shows. And my commission check was over $1,000, and I promoted to director, and I got the $500, and we went and bought a couch. It was awesome. It's like the soft kind. I'm a very textile person. Soft. It's got the kick up. It's cup holders. It's great. Love that couch. It's an awesome couch. And so after that, I was like, all right, this is fun. So I continued doing it. Within 6 months, I started earning more than my teaching paycheck just by doing Pampered Chef part-time. At that point, I thought, wow, that's insane. I wonder what could happen if I did this full-time. So I finished the school year. I loved my kids well. They supported me, and I still go and visit them. And I decided to go full-time with Pampered Chef on June 1st. It was in that same month I went to a director retreat at home office. Someone this morning at breakfast was mentioning the first time she went to home office how she had stars in her eyes, and that was me. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm here. It's just my head was in the clouds. I met Jean Jonas, and it was the coolest thing on the planet. And so I felt like I walked away from that retreat knowing what I needed to do to be awesome. And so I went and I did that, and I took my team on this journey of we are the fastest growing team in Pampered Chef history. Yeah. So, and they believed it. That's true. But just like Judy was saying yesterday, when she did that with her team, that's what I did with my team. Within a few months, we met our first month of executive structure.
Wow.
The month before that, I texted Ellington with tears in my eyes. My paycheck was over $7,600, and it was exactly 1 year from when I had signed up. And I texted her and I said, I just can't believe this is true. I can't believe this could have been possible. It meant so much to my family, and we're getting to pay off my student loans, my student debt. That would have taken probably 10 to 20 years if I just continued teaching. And we're almost done. So it was starting to really change my life. And then that next month, when I hit executive structure, that's when I earned the $9,000 paycheck. And so we did not hit it the second month. And then December and January hit. And it sucked. It hurt. But just like Judy was saying, I said, I think I'm starting to realize what I need to do. When we didn't hit that second month of executive, I got quiet. I said, okay, well, I guess we'll get there at some point. But what I'm realizing I need to do is I always need to inspire. I always need to lead. My team will follow the path that I start out. And if I'm quiet and I don't say a single thing, that's what our team will be. We will be quiet. No one will know about us. But if I lead us, even if it's crazy, I don't care if we're crazy. I don't care if people think I'm crazy. I don't care what anyone thinks about me. I have dreams, and I will achieve those dreams, no matter what anyone else thinks. And so whether my team is on board or not, if I step out, I know some people will follow, and the momentum will grow and we'll pick back up. And I know we will walk as an executive team at conference. That is my big goal right now. All about the inspiration. So I'm gonna structure some things. I'm going to blindly inspire my team, and that is how we will accomplish great things. So let me think of anything that I missed in there. I think one of the big things that had a shift in my mindset in terms of recruiting was when I listened to the Recruiting from the Heart training when I was first trying to get my team members and promote. When I listened to that, it really shifted my mindset. Because before I was like, I don't want to put this on anyone. You know, all the regular fears that people have about recruiting, that you're going to be pushy, you're going to bother people, it's not your place to stay, and that is exactly the opposite of how our mentality should be. When I heard the story in that training of this woman whose life was completely altered because of the Pampered Chef business, I thought, oh my gosh, we are in a position to offer this opportunity to people that could literally change people's lives. It could literally change someone's life who didn't have enough money to get food on the table. They signed up with Pampered Chef and they were able to provide for their family and even have excess. Okay, so when I realized that, even though I didn't even really have a story of my own yet, I knew I had to offer this business to people. It wasn't my choice for if they would sign up or not. It's their choice, and it's my job to offer it to them. And that is what each of our jobs are. And that is what our role is, to train to our downline. It is our job, it is our obligation to offer the business to every single person, and it's not optional. Not optional. And so that's the mindset that I have, and that's the mindset that I carry down to my team. So I guess that was important.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make this a little bit more interactive. So I want everyone to stand up. Okay. And I want you to go sit somewhere next to someone you have no idea who on earth that person is, okay? So go mingle. Go sit down next to someone who you do not know who they are.
I think it's this. Hang on 1 second. I think some of these, no, I
The Pampered Chef planners, I don't know if any of y'all got them. I gave them as a Christmas gift to each one of my leaders, and I have one for myself. And I made a special chart for the Hawaii trip, and I broke down exactly what I need to do monthly in terms of promoting leaders, personal sales, qualified recruits, and I have it all on a very specific chart, and I put that in the front page of that planner. So that way I can check off, when I get every 5,000 or 1,000 points or whatever. And I see it every single day. Every single day what my goals are. So if you kind of know what your goals are, and you've written them down, but you don't have them somewhere where you can't see them every day, you need to do that. Okay? So I'm going to give you guys a moment to write down your goals or rewrite your goals if they don't make you shake. Okay? They should scare you. So when you're thinking about your goals, what is your goal for your annual personal sales? What is your goal for your annual personal team? For your annual organization? And then you divide that by 12 and you get your monthly goal. Do you have goals to achieve excellence? How many categories? When will you achieve it? Founders, Circle of Honor, which Disney level? How many directors will you promote and how frequently? So take a couple minutes to write them down. Take a moment to wrap it up. Okay, so as you're finishing writing, you've already finished writing, I want you all to look down at what you wrote down.
Tell me again.
If you finished writing what you were writing, I want you to look down at what you wrote down. Okay? And I want you to say inside of your head that you have already done it. I want you to picture yourself sitting down at Christmas time on your wonderful couch. Looking at your Christmas tree with your feet kicked up, drinking your glass of wine or your cup of coffee, and saying, I did every single thing that I just wrote down. I did every single one of them. I did this exercise a year ago, and I had to redo it 5 months later.
Wow.
It was cool. You never know what can happen. So this second action thing is belief, which we've talked about, and it sounds simple, but until you implement it, it doesn't work. You have to fake it till you make it. So if you're looking at your goals and you're like, I don't know about that, fake it till you make it, okay? I didn't really believe I could promote to director that fast, but I didn't let any negative thought cross my mind. I didn't really believe I could also fast track to advanced director, but I did not let a single negative thought cross my mind. It all has to be in the positive. If you have a negative thought pattern, you need to read one of those books that everybody talks about and fix that, because it's not going to help. It has to be in the positive whether you believe it or not. You just have to fake it till you make it. So you will continue to say what those things are that you just wrote down to yourself all year as if they've already been done and that they will happen, and you've already done it. In the positive, with absolutely no doubt. Okay, so now we're going to do something that should scare you, meaning it's a really good activity. Okay? So you're either going to be in a pair of 2 or a group of 3, depending on your table structure. Okay? So buddy up, especially with, you can't know whoever you're sitting next to, okay? This is a new thing, all right? It's terrifying saying what you just wrote down, isn't it? Okay? So you are going to share with your partner or with your group the goals that you will have achieved by Christmas this year. That you have done. And I want you to say, on Christmas, I will have had 40 qualified recruits. On Christmas, I am a senior executive director. Okay, so you're speaking in that type of language. So go ahead and take a minute and share what you will have achieved on Christmas this year with your partner or with your group.
On Christmas, what you got? I will have. On Christmas, I will have someone to because I want to be in there. On Christmas, I will have on Christmas, I have to do what you need to do, and that's what you really need to have. So my team is sold 25,000. Or does everyone
Text from one of them. Oh, are you close to my our family? Because I did that. Always. No, I said, no, we don't have to, but also they'll push if they know we have to. So I really think when I got that text, this one, I'm not an asking. How many people are in the team right now? I know you're almost 17. So you're not in your personal team. You're getting looked at so I'm and I was at like 800. And if they follow suit, that's why I'm around. I'm scared. I would like to find a way to do I was just like, so I'll let you know. And then this one was like, okay, you gotta get on this. Every day we get
Somebody needs to be doing it out here. Somebody needs to.
Just walking around, I saw some of you like mentally struggling with not saying, I will probably have done this or something, okay? Get rid of the possibles, all right? It's not probably, it's done. It's done, okay? So the next bullet point is passion. All right, so you're going to do this, but you have to love it. You have to be energized by it. In my first year of doing virtual parties, I literally changed how I was doing it about 4 times because I lost my passion and energy after a bit. Okay? So the elements of what we do in a cooking show or a virtual party are always going to be the same, but sometimes how we do it, we need to freshen it up. Okay? And I'm going to leave a time for question and answers about how I do my virtual parties, which I'm telling you, like, I'm actually in a trial phase right now for how I'm doing something different. So I can share with you what I've done and what works and what I'm doing, and I'm happy to share that. But at the end of the day, it's about what energizes you. Because what I live by, what I teach my leaders and my consultants is don't do it if you hate doing it. Because people are going to get that vibe from you, and it's not going to go well. It honestly does not matter what type of virtual party you do or how you do it, so long as you are passionate and you absolutely love doing it, because it's going to come through. Obviously with extremely strong host coaching, no matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you do a 30-minute party, you do a 7-day party, a 3-day party, on Facebook, not on Facebook, it really doesn't matter. It's going to go well if you have very strong host coaching and you are so pumped and passionate about what you're doing. Okay? So, what you're going to do is I want you to write down what energizes you for how you're doing your virtual parties. Okay? You guys are masters of cooking shows. What about your virtual parties? What energizes you?
Oh, there you go.
What excites you? I don't care if it's one element. Think of one thing that you love doing. Maybe you're not doing it right now, but what excites you about it? Take a quick second to write that down. Now the next thing you're going to write down is what frustrates you. Are you in a rut right now?
Yes.
What is frustrating?
This is just about our
Virtual parties. Okay, so now you're going to take a second and you're going to problem solve with your partner or your small group of 3 what your frustrations are. Because I can guarantee you, most of us sitting in the room probably all do something a little different. Okay? And we can probably help our peers and give a fresh idea. Okay, so go ahead and take a minute and share those frustrations and problem solve. Do not just complain. I hate complaining. It's not helpful. Problem solve.
Are you virtual or live?
I do more virtual than live.
How long?
I was thinking I'm not. I was actually just getting out. But yeah, I'm doing
So we're in a room of amazing people. So continue those conversations later. Now the next point is you have to have a strong personal show schedule. You can't do 1 or 2 virtual parties and expect that that's the experience you're going to have. Okay? So write down, what is your goal? What is your ideal schedule? Do you want to do, 2 cooking shows a week and 2 online parties a week? What is it? And then are you doing it? Okay, so write that down. We should all know what that is.
Becca, what's yours right now?
I do 2 to 3 cooking shows a week and 4 online parties a week.
Maybe I need to do what she's doing.
I need to know what it takes, right?
So share with your friend where you're at really quick. What's your ideal schedule? And then are you there? Are you doing it?
I'm not there. I need to be doing 2 live parties a week and at least 2 virtual.
It's Google. Okay? So if you use Google Calendar in conjunction with Google Task List, it's awesome.
What is it? Google what?
Google Calendar and then Google Tasks.
Task?
T-A-S-K. And they actually go together.
Yep.
And so what you can do on your Google Calendar is you can set recurring events. So at National Conference, they shared in the director meeting that they gave us, they shared what are the essentials that a director needs to do all the time. Monthly, recurring, right? So if you know every single month you need to send out an email to your inactive team members. Every single month or every single Monday you need to reach out to all your hosts. Every single Thursday you need to post an inspirational post on your team page. Every first week of the month you need to mail out host packets for the next month or make the host packets for the number of shows that you know you're going to have for the next month. Okay, so whatever those recurring tasks are, you are at National Conference, that's a really great starting list. In that little thing that they gave us, there is a sheet that has all those things that directors should do. Okay, so then you just set yourself up, for take an hour or so to input all those in your Google Calendar. That way you're not having to think every day about what is it that I should be doing as a leader? What is it that I should be doing for my personal business? It just becomes an automated system that when you go into your Google Calendar, see what you need to do for the day, you go by the checkpoints. I'm just a checklist person. I know not everybody is that way, but I know some people are. It really helps me a lot. And then for the extra tasks that you need to do for that day in particular, for task list, it's so satisfying because you can make a task for that day and you can click a check mark and it crosses it off. Sometimes I'll just put the stuff in there after I've done it just so I can cross it off. I'm that kind of person.
Not kill someone.
No, not everyone is, but I am. Another thing that's really helpful is for your leads. Okay, so if you have someone that says, oh, I'm interested in hosting, but not right now. Oh, why not right now? Oh my gosh, basketball season is so crazy. Oh, I totally get it. When would you like me to get back in touch with you? How about May or June? Okay, I go into task list. I say, contact so-and-so about hosting a party in May. And then when it pops up in May, on that day, I can text it. Hey, just following up like I said I would. Ready?
I
So
love
how's
Google
the task
Calendar.
list different from the calendar? Right here. I know the calendar, but I don't know the task list.
It's in addition to it. It's like a little sidebar when you're looking at it on your computer. So that's a system that I use. I know a lot of people use different systems. Whenever people tell me they don't have time to do stuff, I'm thinking in my head, you just don't have the systems to do stuff.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people who are way busier than you and me who get a lot more done than we do. And it's because they have systems. So let me share with you a system. Okay? All right, you do one of those at your team meetings as a group, you can do that on your own personal time. But are you doing it when you need to do it, is the question.
Clever.
Okay, you're your own boss. You just shared with your friends what your show schedule is. If that show schedule is not done by the 15th of the month before, you need to make yourself do a booking blitz every single day until you have the show schedule that you want. Okay, you're a leader, you need to act like it if you want that type of show schedule.
Amen.
Okay. When it comes to recruiting, I shared, this is the next point. When it comes to recruiting, I shared the heart behind it. The biggest thing is it is not our choice to make for someone else, if this is for them. It is our job to offer it to them, and they make that choice. Recruiting is a skill. If you're lacking in it, then you need to train yourself on that skill. Even for my leaders who recruited great when they were promoting and they're not recruiting now, I said, all right, we got to get that skill back. So what are you doing? One of the things that I do for my downline is whenever they're learning how to recruit, or if they're in a funk with recruiting and they're not recruiting, they're probably doing something wrong, or you're probably doing something wrong. You might be making it all about you. You might be making it all about how amazing Pampered Chef is, and you never even ask them what this could mean for them. Okay? You always have to lay it back on the person. So if you are a strong recruiter, something that you should be offering to your downline is, hey, when you're having these recruiting conversations and you don't know what to say, screenshot me where you're at in that message, and I'll reply back as if I were trying to recruit that person. And that's going to help them develop the skill. And if you're not in a place where you're like, I don't know if I can do that, who is your upline? Can you ask, hey, I know you're great at recruiting, I need to improve. Can I send you some screenshots when I'm trying to do this so you can give me some feedback on what would you say? Now, the biggest thing that I have found that helps the most with recruiting is speaking in hypotheticals to the person you're trying to recruit. Okay? Because it helps them feel like, not so like, oh, get away from me, lady. Okay? So let's say I'm trying to recruit Marna. Okay? So I'm talking to Marna. I'm like, Marna, oh my gosh, I know you love Pampered Chef. Have you ever thought about doing this? No? No? Well, okay. Do you, Marna, you and I were talking earlier. Actually, like, you said you love cooking.
I do.
What do you love about cooking?
Oh my gosh, I like trying new things all the time. It's just fun.
You like trying new things all the time. Man, you try so many new things with Pampered Chef. What about your kitchen products? Do you like trying new kitchen products?
Yeah, well, like gadgets and tools, yeah.
Oh man, we got them all. Are there any that are on your wish list?
Yes, I want that new grater thingy do that's coming out.
Greater thing you do. You know what, Marna? Whenever you become a consultant, you can earn as many products as you want to for free. When I first became a consultant, I earned over $1,000 worth of free product in just a few months. You could get your grater. What else would you get with $1,000 of free product?
Well, probably that big quick cooker.
Oh my gosh,
Yes,
yes.
hypothetical.
What would you make for that?
Oh, I would make fried squirrel. I don't know. Probably me. I mean, I'm a little busy, you know. Little.
You're fine.
You're fine.
Okay, so you continue that conversation. All right?
Can I just stop? Where was the hypothetical? I just want you to be 100% aware what she did. What was the hypothetical question she asked?
What would you do with your $1,000?
What would you do with your $1,000 was the hypothetical question. But how did she get there? How did she get to the point where she
doesn't know what she'd like to do.
Asking questions.
Loves the
by
product.
asking questions and shutting her mouth and just letting the other person answer? Exactly. She wasn't trying to, you're just doing an amazing job. I just want to make sure everybody's aware of what you're doing. She wasn't trying to talk Marna into anything. She was asking Marna questions, and then she was using the answers to those questions to get her to the hypothetical question of, so if you could get $1,000 worth of
What would you
product,
get?
what would you get? And that opened the door up for her. What was a no, it reopened the door to her to continue conversation. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to fry the quick cooker.
Yes.
It's a delicacy in Louisiana.
How do I get the fried squirrel to sign this consultant agreement? Like, how do
So
you?
I just asked a redirecting question. So you're gonna redirect them whenever you get off topic. You go into each topic or each question 3 to 4 conversations deep. 3 to 4 replies back deep, right? Okay, and then you go to a new one. You're the leader. You have to direct that conversation where you want it to go, yet it's being directed by them and what interests them and what speaks to their life and their heart. And then you're speaking to that. Because when you don't make it about them, or you don't try to learn about them, or their interests, or what gets them excited, you're not recruiting. It's all about them.
What do you say to get her, like, I can do all of that,
Right.
but then how do you say, okay, so, or
What do you got?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how interested are you giving this a try? Okay, she'll say, I'm a 6. Why are you a 6? What's holding you back? You work through those hesitations. Okay, and you overcome those objections just like you do when you're hosting. And you've got to do a lot of parties to recruit a lot of people, right? You guys heard my show schedule. If I recruited one person from every party I did, I would be freaking huge, right? I'm not recruiting one person from every single party, but you know I'm working my butt off to do that. That's why I'm recruiting 4 to 5 people a month. Okay, so when you have that kind of conversation with enough people, you're gonna come across the people who are like, all right, okay, you've overcome my objections, you've overcome my fears, my hesitations, I'm willing enough to try this with you. Okay? You will come across the people who are willing enough to try that with you.
So, Bekah, I want to put you on the spot, because this is really good, okay? It's really, really good. So, Marna, I want you to go back into role.
Okay.
And so when she said to you on a scale of 1 to 10, so I want you to start there again.
Okay.
And I want you to go back to, I'm kind of busy.
Okay.
Okay, so, go ahead.
All right, scale 1 to 10. William,
I would say 5.
5? Why is it a 5? Why are you not a 10?
Because really, I really don't think I have the time to devote. Because I said, when I want to do something, I want to do it full bore. And next year might be better, and my kids will be 2 years old. I don't know, but 2 years.
I might have 60 brain.
I might have 60. I'm just really busy.
Yeah. I hear that people are busy a lot of the time, but we have positions with Pampered Chef for people who really, truly just want those discounts and free products, to people who want to do this as a hobby, to part-time, and to full-time. Where could you see yourself in that spectrum?
Probably really hobby.
Hobby? Awesome.
Stop, okay. So, here's what happened. I just feel the need to call attention to what you're doing, because you're doing it so well.
She does it so naturally.
So, yeah, so
up there.
basically, she just redirected again.
Go up there.
Okay, Patty's like, go up front.
Go up front.
Co-train, I'm not taking anything away from you.
No, you're doing good. This is making it better.
So what she did was she redirected the conversation again. Did you see the redirection?
Mm-hmm.
So she said, I hear that all the time. So she's agreed. That's the first step.
Yeah.
Agree with them, never argue with them,
How
okay?
I feel.
If they're busy, period, end of story. So I hear that all the time, is basically what you said. But do you know that we have positions in Pampered Chef? So she redirected the conversation. Okay, keep going. I'm gonna stop you from here to point out what you're doing. Go ahead.
Okay. You want to keep that
Yeah,
conversation?
keep that conversation
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, we have positions with Pampered Chef that would,
Okay. So you said a hobby.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's why I first joined. I love this so much. So what about it excites you?
Oh, I would just love to get that squirrel cooker. I don't know.
All right, Marna, I know you want to do this as a hobby. I know you want to get that quick cooker for free.
Yep.
Here's a picture of the kits. Which one would you pick?
I think I'd pick this 159 kit.
Okay. Did you say which one would you pick? You see how that's like not like, super direct, but like it's there.
If you don't have goosebumps, I have goosebumps from that.
I did too.
This is my day-to-day on Facebook Messenger.
Really, really good. So, so basically, she totally related with Marna and got Marna to relate with her. So Marna can now see, Marna actually went through a shift right there, where she actually now was totally relating. It wasn't like it was Bekah and Marna, Bekah against Marna, Marna against Bekah. All of a sudden, I don't know if you saw it, but I totally saw it, the shift happened. And you have to be aware of that shift at all times when you're talking to people, because at some point, you then become totally in control of the conversation, and you kind of won them over to the point where they're totally relating with you. And that's what I just saw happen.
Well, she also got me, she got me from, I'm a 5 to, I know what kind of consultant I want to be, I know why I want to do it for the products, and I know which kid I want.
And she said, this is what I know about you. Boom, 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 right?
And this is all text.
That's what I wanted to know.
It's all through, yeah, Messenger or text.
Interesting.
Wow.
Right,
So
okay,
you're not
so
ever
guys,
talking.
okay, I'm just gonna, here's the deal, guys.
Have a conversation.
This generation, right, they don't communicate the way we communicate. They
what's
communicate
mind-blowing.
this way, and they understand this communication. So we gotta get ourselves there. If you want to bring in that next generation of people, right, you've gotta get yourself to a place that you are willing to accept that this is how they communicate, and we have to communicate their way. And so it's hard for somebody like me to imagine that, where I was always a face-to-face, look you in the eye kind of girl. I mean, I rarely did a phone interview. I was like sitting down across the table. You gotta get to a point where you're comfortable with communicating with people the way they want to be
I have
communicated.
a quick question. What do you do in your messaging if all of a sudden they don't answer? That, all of a sudden you're
Follow
looking
up.
at, huh?
Follow up. If they were conversing with you that much, you might have like hit a spot where like they're really, really thinking hard about this.
Right.
You know?
And then when
So give them time.
like
You know?
24 hours.
Yeah, yeah. If it was something where we were going back and forth like that and all of a sudden she didn't respond, I'd be fine with replying back in like 30 minutes. Say, hey, what do you think? But if it was something where like it was just starting those conversations, yeah, 24 hours.
Okay.
24 hours. Just about, how you build that rapport with the person. Did you have a question?
It was the same.
Okay. Okay, great. And so then from there, I'd say, okay, Marta, here's the link to sign up. Are you ready to get started? Then you know. Okay, and if she's like, and then if at that point, after I've gone through all of that and I've overcome all of her objections and we're there and she's still like, you know what, I just want to think about this some more. I don't think I'm quite ready. So you know what, I totally get it. Okay, after I've overcome all those objections, all right? At the end of the day, you're not going to recruit every single person. If they're ready, they're ready. They're going to sign up. If they're not, you say, how about this? How about, can I keep in touch with you about the monthly specials that we have to sign up? And they'll say yes, okay? Then you know I have a Google Sheet list of every single potential recruit who has not jumped the fence, and I contact them about twice a month. Okay, just checking in with them, how are they doing, letting them know about the special, and that's how you get a lot of other recruits as well. Yes.
As an old school, what I see here is that if you're doing it, texting, messaging, you're not gonna let yourself throw up all over them about,
One part of the road is this.
and they're gonna go,
Oh, no, you can. I've had consultants who have gone way overboard when they're trying to recruit and just sharing everything that Pampered Chef is, and I'm saying no.
Wow.
One bite at a time. You relate back to them one part, you ask them another question. Very concise. Otherwise, it's overwhelming and it's a turnoff to people.
One thing I say, and this has always been in person or on the phone, is when they're saying the level they want to be, I say, well, my consultants decide what their 100% is. For some it's 2 shows a month, for some it's 6 shows a month.
That's good.
Some virtual, some, whatever.
Yeah, I like that. And I've had these types of conversations over the phone and in person. Okay? So the more you have these types of conversations and you speak in this type of language, the more comfortable you'll get. And for me, it's more of a challenge to have those conversations in person and over the phone because I'm very comfortable with it through Messenger. For y'all, it might be I'm more comfortable having this type of conversation in person. I'm not so comfortable with it with Messenger. But as you continue to do it either way, you just have to push yourself to having those conversations with whichever way is not exactly in your comfort zone. Okay, so we have 3 more bullet points. I don't know what time it is.
11:30.
Keep going.
You've tried, yeah, we're not.
Okay.
We're like,
So,
Johnny's like, I'm making a
thinking about your team. Your team.
Not eating today.
You set the example and the pace for your team. You are the role model. Don't you dare expect your team members, the people below you, to do any more or even at the same level that you do. They're not going to. You set the pace. Your average sales are $2,000 a month. You can darn well expect that the average consultant sales on your team is going to be less than $1,000 a month. You set the bar high at selling $10,000, $15,000 a month, then the sky is the limit for your team. The possibilities are endless. Why couldn't they do it too? If you set it low, they will also set it low. Okay, so you set the bar. They're going to follow your lead, your attitude, and your values. So take a second to think, what kind of leader would my team describe me as? And would you be happy with what they said about you? Is there anything that you would want them to say differently? Do you inspire? Or do you complain? Or are you silent? We've all been there. You want to inspire, you want to encourage, you want to generate excitement, you want to share knowledge, but mostly, as Judy said, we want to inspire. And are we being the inspirational leaders that our team needs to see us as? Okay, very quickly, I want you to take a second to share with your friend, do you feel like you're the leader you want to be? Or what do you think you need to grow in to be the leader you need to be for your team? So go ahead and share that with your friend real quick.
I'm not going to
So remember the bullet points that we discussed today that you're like, I'd really like to talk about this more. One of them was virtual parties. That's probably going to be a big hitter for a lot of people. Maybe it's recruiting, maybe it's bookings. Okay, so the next bullet point is on promoting leaders. That's how we move up, is promoting leaders. So this is, I think, the most fun thing that you can ever do, is to promote a director. It's so much fun, because anyone who you ever start with working for towards director, they don't believe they can do it. And you get to be the person to inspire them and instill the belief, oh, you can do it. You're going to do it. You have all the chops in the world that you're going to do it. I was a psychology major, and this terminology was called self-fulfilling prophecy. And I experienced that, as we all probably have in our lives, in different ways. As a swimmer, I was very successful in high school. That's when I had my fastest swimming times, and that's what got me a scholarship to go to college. And my coaches exemplified a positive example of self-fulfilling prophecy. They told me, Bekah, you're going to go to Olympic trials. Bekah, you've got it all in you. You're going to do it. You can do this. I believe in you. Bekah, you've got this. Go get it. What I do? I went, and I was awesome. Then I moved to college. I was in the middle of the pack on the team. I was no longer the star. My coaches didn't believe in me. They didn't seem to care. Didn't get any encouragement from them whatsoever. And so I began to believe that I wasn't important. I began to believe that I was mediocre. I didn't have the potential, I didn't have the chops, I wasn't at the top. And I believed all that because the people who were supposed to inspire me and encourage me didn't. So you can look at that the same way for your team and for the people who have the potential to be a director. I 100% believe anyone who wants to be a director can and will do it. Anyone who wants it and is willing to work can and will do it. So our job is to identify those who have the chops, whether it might not seem like a lot. To give you an example, I have a brand new consultant. Her name is Juanita, and she has been on every training call. She's very consistent in messaging me back. She has already submitted a show, and she's just barely in her first week of being a consultant. And she's doing everything I told her to do. So much so that when there was a little bit miscommunication and I called her to follow up on her first training, I said, Juanita, how's it going with your contacts? And she told me, and you all have heard, we need to contact 25 people a week, right? We need to track it. And I trained her on this. And she said, Becca, I contacted 4 people last week and 1 person today. And she said it with such grit and intensity that I knew it's as if she did what I told her to do. And I tried not to laugh, and I said, that's awesome. I think you might have misheard me. You need to contact 5 people a day. A day. She said, oh, I missed that, darn it. And she got 1 booking from that. And I said, imagine if you contacted 5 people a day, how many bookings you would have gotten. She said, man, okay, I'm going to do that this time. And so she's taking in every single word I say. You know those people. And so I was on the phone with her. We have a Rock Stars on the Rise group coming up that Ellington and I will be working with 10 consultants who want more and want to promote to director. And I said, Juanita, I think you have the chops to promote to director. You remember that $500 fast track bonus I talked about? She said, yeah. I said, have you thought more about it? She said, I mean, it'd be awesome. I could go to Korea to see my grandkids. Said, I think you can do it. In fact, I know you can do it. You've worked hard. You've done everything I told you to do, to what you heard me. And I completely believe that you can and will do this if you want to do it. Do you want to hear what you're going to get when you promote to a director? She's like, yeah, what do I get? And I just kind of tell her some of the big things that she's going to get. Do you hear how I'm talking? When she promotes. That she is going to get, not if she promotes. I'm not even talking in hypotheticals. She's going to do it. Okay? You are the person who's instilling that. So by the end of the call, I said, well, what do you think? Do you want to do this? This is what it's going to take. She said, my heart is racing. You're just so inspiring and motivational. I guess I want to do this. And do you know how cool that is? Do you know how exciting that is for me? That's what puts the biggest smile on my face in this business, is getting to inspire somebody to do something that they never, ever would have done if I hadn't talked to them about it. That is so exciting. It's the most fulfilling thing. Okay, so in terms of promoting leaders, you want to seek out those who just have the chops. Okay, she hasn't even done much yet, right? But I've identified some things that she's willing to work. She's willing to do it. She's going to do it. You can look at people who are consistent in doing shows. Okay, they're consistently submitting stuff every month. Maybe someone who already has 1 team member. That's a great start. Okay. It doesn't really matter where they are as long as they have the will and you put the belief on them. You inspire them, and it will happen. Okay? Very important to identify these people consistently. When you work with 3 to 4 people, you're going to promote 1, maybe 2. Okay? So how many leaders did you write down that you want to promote this year? So how many people do you need to work with to promote? Working with small groups is great. You have another person on your team, like Ellington. For me, we work really well together. We're both very inspirational people. So when we get a group of people under us, they're going to be inspired and they're going to work. Okay? So do you have someone like that you can partner up with and pair up with to do it? Or do you just need to do it on your own? You decide, okay? But you need to do something consistent, all right? The Director Bound group that Pampered Chef gives us resources on, that's one thing you can do. You can go through that. That's I think it's a 10 or 12-week thing overall. So that's great. One of the systems that we've done that's very successful, that's a lot faster paced because why not? And people can do it. Is you focus with your potential people on straight up bookings. Bookings, and then a little bit of host coaching for 3 weeks. So you're setting them up for success, okay? So we're actually starting one tonight. We're starting them tonight, so it's just a little bit into February. We're going to focus with this group for 3 weeks on bookings. So they're getting some bookings they need for February. They need to get at least 6 on their show for February, on the month for February, up to 8. And then they have to have 8 to 10 for March, because that's when they're going to promote. So we're strengthening them. We're giving them the tools they need to have a strong show schedule, because what's the point in promoting a leader when they don't know how to work and they don't know how to do shows and they don't have a consistent show schedule. So we're teaching them the importance of this is what you're going to do at the director level. We're helping you now. You're setting yourself up for success in March. You're going to have the shows you need for March. Then in March, we're going to do weekly individual calls, because everyone's going to be in a different spot, and focusing on recruiting. Okay, then they're going to get their 5 team members. They're going to get them all having a grand opening or active, and they're going to promote. So out of the 10, we're hoping for maybe 4 to 5 promotions. So that's something that you want to do consistently. Ellington's numbers are absolutely amazing. She promoted 20 plus directors last year. And it's because we are consistently having a director-bound group or a Rock Stars on the Rise group. And we are consistently reaching out and identifying, all right, who wants more? Who could do this? Okay. All right, that's it. So, Q&A. Yes.
When you set up those shows and get them to promote to director, when they recruit somebody, do you get them to do like the virtual shows first to try and get qualified quicker?
It just depends on the person that they recruit. Like, are they here? Because,
because you're more virtual, right?
I do 50-50.
Okay.
And so, I mean, if it's a local person, then we'll go do the grand opening for them,
Okay.
a grand opening cooking show. If they're not local, then we'll do a grand opening virtual party.
Okay, all right.
So you do their first show?
Typically, yeah. Some people are savvy enough that if it's, for a cooking show, yes, we do their first show if they're local. For virtual, then some people are savvy enough that they can just look at one of our shows and use that material and write it themselves. Yes.
When you talk about, okay, if you have a first generation person that's not as strong as second generation, do you work with those second generation?
When they're trying to promote, your main focus is to work with that director, and you are guiding that director for what they need to do for their team. And so, you're talking with your director about the people they've recruited. So did they sign up?
She's not a director.
Well, then, so you're still working with your person for who she signed up. And you're giving support to your first director on how she should lead her people below her. And so that's a case-by-case basis. It depends on their why and that kind of thing. Yes.
Do you have any recorded videos in the internet world?
Yes.
That, like for public access of any kind?
Mm-hmm.
Like where would you find that besides that? Well, personally, I'm just curious.
Like on YouTube.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel.
Is that for do you do like recruiting skills? I mean, I'm gonna go, what's your YouTube channel called?
Just post it in the team.
Yeah,
I was just curious.
If you search me, you'll probably find it. I do a lot of food videos, and I have like a couple business related videos, but not a lot. So, yeah. Okay, any other questions? Yes.
How do you teach your team the systems?
The systems?
Like your systems?
When you're first training them, I talk to them about 25 contacts, and everyone's going to do, like tracking their contacts is essential. And the people who are going to work are going to take in what you tell them to do. The people who aren't going to work aren't going to care. They're not going to do anything. Yeah, and yeah.
Do what?
A lot of different things.
What'd you say?
She does a lot of different things.
Oh.
Like, do you do one-on-one calls for new consultant training? Do you move them?
I've always done it. I always train my
So
workers.
can I just give you a hypothetical?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm a brand new consultant, and I am super excited about getting started. but I don't have any clue of what to do. Like,
Right.
I'm fairly new with Facebook, but I really, I was on a virtual party that you did, and I am so excited about like getting my virtual party started.
Yeah.
So what do you do with me?
Right. So it's all baby steps, because I don't want to, you don't want to just throw up everything on them.
Right?
Otherwise, they'll be really overwhelmed. So, I mean, I take them, the new consultants training course is basically, that's what I do for my, training my new consultants. And so I walk them through that. There should be a welcome call, there's the first training call, the second training call, then it's follow-up with show-based coaching. And so,
So in between,
Yeah.
because I know what show-based coaching is, that's after they've done the show. So in between the time they start and the 25 contacts, there's that little gap of, okay, you told me I'm supposed to be doing these virtual parties, and I don't really know what to say to my host, and I don't really know what to, how to set up these virtual parties, and what do I do?
well, for their first party, I'll either do it for them or help guide them. And it depends on the person. If it's someone who's really tech savvy, they've attended a couple of my virtual parties, I'll ask them, are you comfortable with going back and following that outline? You can copy and paste. And I also share with them what's on marketing imagery. I share with them how they have to take the party experience training course to get access to the virtual party packs, and how they can use those. You train them. I mean, when I was doing Facebook, you do Busily. I would do Busily. That's like SendShare. It's a posting service. And so I have templates on there that I can share with them. And so then I just say, I can share this with you. You just need to make it your own. And you're going to make it your own through the virtual party packs.
So you say, when you were on Facebook.
I'm in a trial right now. So I'm not doing parties on Facebook. I'm doing them through Squee.
Me too.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah.
But I'm kind of done.
Yeah.
We need to talk, because I've done a number of squee parties too.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Well, I think I do. I have to think about this now because my mind just went another direction. So, okay, so I get that they can watch your virtual shows, but they can't really see how the host coaching works. Oh, but wait, your host coaching, are they doing a grand opening show and you're doing it for them? So you're actually doing the host coaching. So
Right.
they can
When I'm doing
see
it
that.
for them, I coach them the exact same way as if
Okay.
they were a consultant.
Got it.
So, and I tell them, I'm like, you're learning by experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever I'm telling you, take notes, because that's how you're going to coach your host.
Okay.
And of course, you refer them to the host coaching course. That's
Okay.
where they're going to get their meat and potatoes
Okay.
for host coaching.
We need to break for
Yeah,
lunch.
we do.
But maybe we can